Microsoft's going to have to do a lot of things if they want to change the minds of the overall perception of the Xbox. And what I mean by that is, obviously without the exclusive games, there's going to be a situation where they're going to need to convince people to, hey, buy this box, play our thing, that's just going to be the truth about it. They really need people to kind of step up and, get into that kind of idea that, yeah, we could definitely get something moving here. There's a reason to buy our platform. There's a reason to do all of this stuff. Like, they definitely need to kind of do that and see that. For me anyway, I think a lot of that has to come with them getting games that really haven't been traditionally on the platform, right? This is going to be an issue. They're going to have to prove this to a lot of people. And what I mean by that is, you have to have a situation where you go, okay, well, we have this game, and this game that we wouldn't normally have. A lot of that times it's like JRPGs and things like that. I'm not personally like a big JRPG guy, but I definitely understand, the thought process behind, having, these platforms, these games on your platform. You need it. But anyway, I want to get into this. This is good news for Xbox fans. Hey everyone, I'm Crap Gamer. This is Crap Gamer Reviews with another video. Thank you for checking it out. I certainly do appreciate it. Please like, share, subscribe. I would appreciate that as well. I do daily gaming content, so that's something that not everybody does, and I try my best at it. So maybe that's something that you do, that you enjoy. So if you do, leave a like or subscribe. Anyway, when it comes to Xbox, they've been making a push to try to get more content, even if they have to fund it. Stuff like Ninja Gaiden, that stuff is coming to Xbox, which is always cool. They're like funding the new one or whatever. I mean, it would be cooler if that was like an exclusive. Not so much to keep games off of other platforms, but to give people an extended reason and purpose to buy your own platform. I think that would be like the big thing to that, and that would be kind of the hope, in my opinion, that could be the case. Now, with that being said, there's always going to be some kind of reason that people don't do something, or that they do something and maybe they don't like it or whatever. But for me anyway, I would really enjoy it if more of these things come to the platform. So there is a JRPG. It is a game that it is actually I think it's pronounced Atelier, right? Or Atelier. This is a game that a lot of people kind of talk about or whatever, and I don't mean to kind of butcher the name. If I did, my bad. But this is a game that you hear people talk about, and it's one that traditionally skipped Xbox. So there was a hands-on preview of the upcoming Xbox RPG or JRPG, which is Atelier Yumia, the Alchemist of Memories and the Envisioned Land of well, I guess it's kind of short for that. But anyway, the preview includes an interview with Mr. Jose, the game's producer for the series and president of the corporation at the studio responsible for the franchise. And I know, listen, this isn't my thing necessarily, but it is nice to see more of these things come to Xbox as an Xbox fan, because that could actually help people maybe go to Xbox a little bit. So we'll see. But during the interview, which I'm going to link this in the description, you can check it out, he disclosed insightful information on the plans to make the franchise more popular in the West, and how his love for the Xbox platform may have been partially responsible for how this became the first game in the series to actually go to Xbox. The interview began with him stating that the Gus Corporation plans to make Yumia one of the most financially successful entries in the franchise, following up the breakout success of the Ryza trilogy. He declares this while not forgetting that Atelier Ryza ultimately saved the franchise from cancellation after it suffered a streak of tumultuous releases. Part of the strategy to make the game a success is by participating personally in international preview tours while bringing it to other platforms such as Xbox, because previous games were only released on PlayStation. However, the interview then gives an interesting piece of info that implies Atelier Yumia's inclusion on Xbox may not be purely for business, because it reveals that he's actually a fan of the Xbox platform, which is always good to hear, right? He says, "I really love Xbox. I've been a user since the original, and I've always wanted to release something for the platform." So that's nice to see. If you guys remember back, man, the original Xbox was, such a beast, that, to be honest with you, it was really nice that kind of stuff was able to kind of facilitate some of these like JRPGs and some of the Japanese audience and developers. If you guys remember, stuff like Ninja Gaiden, and that was exclusive to Xbox originally, and you also had a slew of other stuff that was like taking advantage of the power of Xbox, because Xbox was really a powerful platform, and that caused a lot of people to kind of go into a little bit. So we'll see over how this kind of works and things like that. We'll see. Like I said, anything can happen. I hope that it does. But anyway, he's saying that he's a huge fan of the Halo franchise, and says he's even inspired by the relationship between Master Chief and Cortana to create a character in the game itself that's going to accompany the main character on her journey. Also mentions that he would like to have seen the Atelier Ryza trilogy get Xbox ports, but it wasn't until after those games became successful in Japan that he was able to justify releasing them worldwide. Plus, it was easier to make the case for Xbox ports for a new trilogy of games rather than port the existing ones. On a side note, he briefly mentions that he's sad to hear that Halo has fallen out of favor with the general public, as it is more interested in other titles like Valorant, Counter-Strike, and Apex Legends. Also mentioned that he's into FPS games and that he looks forward to playing Borderlands 4. He was a fan of the first two Borderlands games, but admitted Borderlands 3 left him a little bit disappointed. So again, it's nice to see this happening. If you've never heard of the game, it's the latest upcoming entry in the series. These games are generally lighthearted JRPGs where you play as alchemists traveling the world to craft items, uncovering ancient secrets, and making new friends along the way. If you never played the game before, which obviously if you're just maybe mainly an Xbox fan, you probably haven't, it would be a good thing to do. It's a fantastical open world game that you can explore. It's got a cast of characters that's fun and interesting. According to this, it's got some depth and real-time combat systems with an emphasis on player positioning in order to execute special attacks that will break an enemy's defense. Not to mention, the series' trademark crafting system is back and bigger than ever, as Atelier Yumia will allow players to create hundreds of items, gear, artifacts, and even entire buildings with millions of crafting materials you will find on your journey. Plus, they confirmed that that this thing's really going to be running well on the Xbox Series X and S. So yeah, nice to see that that's happened. Nice to see that there's people that are actually out there and fans of an Xbox. Again, I think this is nice to see, and developers kind of just coming out of the woodwork to support the platform. Microsoft has a long way to go, and hopefully they can continue to do the things that they need to do to make sure that that everybody is on board and has something to play. Like, that's the main thing that I always kind of bring about, right? It's like there's all kinds of different gamers out there, and listen, like, I'm not a soccer fan, but there's people out there that love soccer, and so why would I say, hey, don't bring a soccer game to Xbox, because just because I don't like it doesn't mean that there's not millions of people out there who love soccer. So if you guys can understand where I'm kind of coming from with that, that's basically how I'm kind of I'm all over the years, you know what I mean? It used to be if it wasn't specifically for me, screw it or whatever, but now it's like, oh, okay, well, they have games that have to be for everybody, and I completely understand that and respect that. The world doesn't revolve around me, not to say that I always thought that, but it's nice to see that other gamers are getting things that they want, other games and different types of games to play. So that's pretty cool, in my opinion. And more JRPGs to flush out the platform is always a good thing to me as well. So what do you guys think? Are you guys fans of this franchise? Do you not care? Like I said, it's good that they're branching out. They're getting these games. They're getting things that they can play to really have more of a complete catalog of games on the platform, and I think that's like super important going forward. So we'll see if that's going to be something that they can continue to do and continue to pull in a group of people to the Xbox platform. If they can continue to do that, I think they'll be in decent shape. I'm not sure that with their strategy that they'll be able to do a whole lot with everything that's going on. But, you know, we'll see what happens. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Rack 'em up, fact 'em up, Crap Gamer 'em up. Let me know what you think down below. Subscribe, share, all that good stuff. Crap Gamer out.